are timing chain guides, am I correct?
That is correct.
And so there's a lot of stress on these parts, and these are cast parts, whatever. I would assume that a high RPM engine, powerful motor, might start to worry about these things. Maybe they give up, and if you break one of these, you could lose a complete engine. Is that a fair chance?
Absolutely can.
So you had these made out of billet, which is a heck of a lot stronger than these. I would assume that these are not just the same as, like I got one over here that I got, and it sure does look like a pretty much of a copy of the one that you did, but it's different customer, I mean a different manufacturer. What's the difference between these two things? Why is yours better?
You know, that's pretty much a direct copy of a product that we made and actually sold to those particular people years ago. With exception to the fact that they didn't make it out of 7075 and they didn't hard anodize it. So,
how can you tell it's not hard anodized? Is that what these scratches are?
There's scratches and scratches in here in the bolts and scratches there. You know, color anodized is nice, but all of our stuff is hard anodized.
So if you don't have the right material and you got the wrong coating and stuff on this, that stuff can wander around in your oil pan and screw something up.
It can. If you start losing control of the change, you know, they'll start to scratch these parts potentially. These things fit in a relatively confined space as well, so that's part of the reason why we use 7075 instead of 6061. So we're trying to get as much strength as we can on these parts in a very confined area. So there's only so many places we can add material. You know, we did add a bolt hole and stuff like that, which makes the part much more stable. However, it's a very confined space, so better material is the answer.
So these are the guides for the other side we've seen, and these are the wear strips that fit over the guide. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Now I've heard these things will last a long time if you're running gasoline, but I've heard people tell me that if you're running methanol, these wear strips will start to wear out because they're basically stock material. How do you deal with that?
Well, what happens, I mean, over the years, you just replace them on a regular basis. Basically what happens is this material softens and it actually starts to swell up and get longer. So it'll only swell up and get longer to the point where this thing falls off, and then it'll run right through the engine. So the protocol before was basically replacing them on a regular basis every couple of races if you're running methanol. A little bit more longevity if you're running E85. So we've got some new stuff coming out right now that's basically wear resistant to all of those different chemicals. So it will replace this part as a direct drop in and not have to be a maintenance item. Put it in and forget about it. So these are the original factory plastic parts. These are the billet parts that we've created as a way of fixing this problem. These things are very flexible. And ideally, you don't really want flexibility in your timing system. So these things eliminate the flex. The new wear strips are going to eliminate the issues of methanol-related failures.
Those new ones that you're talking about, they'll fit on even the stock.
They'll absolutely fit on all the stock stuff, all of our new stuff, and I really can't tell you about anyone else's products.
Yeah. Well, it looks to me like you got the timing system down and you got heavy-duty chains and all that kind of stuff.
This particular product is specifically for 5.4 stuff, 5.4 4-valve only, and particularly for GT, you know, bigger timing chain components.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the smaller GT 500 stuff later.
So what you're trying to tell me is you get what you pay for and you pay for what you get.
Well, you don't always get what you paid for because somebody paid for that, and we're going to throw it in the trash after we're done with this.
I got it. Did you get that?